So no, complete 180 on the Trump policy for Venezuela, and I think that the Israelis are behind it. Um, if the only thing keeping Mexico from becoming a rich country is that they're corrupted, it comes down to whether or not you want your neighbors, you want to have rich neighbors or poor neighbors. And is it like better for the American society, right? Is it better for the population if we have rich neighbors or poor neighbors? So is the problem really going to get addressed? Because we can't bomb China and Mexico over fentanyl. We're going to bomb Venezuela unnecessarily over a problem that we can't solve in different countries. So it doesn't mean that we're going to go in and turn Mexico into scorched earth. We're going to do something just right for the Guatemalans and the Nicaraguans to be able to be like, yeah, you make sense, you know, because they're not all compadres either. And there's some status quo that they wouldn't want to overturn to a little bit, that you can't rely on anybody to govern. You have to break down the definitions, because every question that you're being asked is presupposition loaded, and you could just be like, well, what is it this, what is it that, and they're like, you don't know the silly terminology that we already posed, you know, like if we have to explain to you what a this is or that is. But you could just say, slow down, because you're being vague. And if you elaborate on the issue, I would know what you're talking about. But if you use these vague, overarching, wide umbrella, this terminology that covers every base, I don't ever actually know what you're talking about. You know, just like racism is genetic determinism. If you don't specifically state genetic determinism or something, you could be talking about gentrification. You could be talking about nepotism. I don't know. You just said racism. What the fuck is that? What is it? Tell me. What is it? Oh, you don't know what racism is? You trying to say that it never existed or it doesn't exist? Tell me what the fuck is your difference with what have you. Like, because there's a more specific way to speak directly to the issue. I bet you I could tell you before you could tell me what it is. But the thing is, I'm not going to help you. I'm not going, because you're not the answer. You're not even, you're more you have a shorter attention span, and you know, so you're explaining, like, to the people that if you know the truth, you wouldn't have to say it. But so you don't do your homework and you're just yappy, then I won't shut up. It's like you need to be disembittered and disenraged, you know. It's like but that only way that can happen is if you know a deeper understanding of the big picture. If you don't have the big picture, you would, like a few months ago when I thought it was a good idea to invade Venezuela. Like, we're just gonna figure out later that it's an inside. Like, we're just gonna figure out later that it's a false premise over again, and then we'll be smart because it's like when we were like, oh, there's no W and D. You could have, like, if you weren't just like going along. Would have fucking, but it's like we thought it was a good thing. I'm not gonna let that happen too many times. Like, there's a threshold to where it's like, oh, this is gonna just rhyme with that last shit. You're just expanding. You're not, you know. What's the Taliban doing right now? They're fucking in charge. It's like the Taliban, now they're high tech. Before they weren't high tech, they were in charge, but they weren't high tech. Now they're going around with a high tech caliphate. Like, it's going all back. Like, you were hearing about, like, they're arresting, like, teachers, female teachers and everything. You know, like, I think that women should be able to drive, but I don't think they should vote. Over there, they think that women shouldn't be able to vote or drive. You should be able to drive. You should be able to get chauffeured around and or drive. You just can't vote. Because you think that you're better at voting and more comprehensive than other. So, like, let me fill out your voter card. That shit don't work.